everyone, and welcome to my December 2024 video, The Return and Renewal of the Light. So today's video is going to very much be diving into the energies of the solstice, which are happening right now as I'm recording this video on the 21st. And I'm just going to guide us into a little inquiry, a little presencing of the solstice energies and some messages that are coming through. And then I'm inspired to lead us in a little bit of a guided meditation, inquiry, inner journey with the energies of the solstice to support each of you directly to connect in with what this portal is and what the energetic signature offers us as we harmonize with nature, as we harmonize with the inner and the outer. So I'm super excited to dive into that. I have my own cup of cacao. And cheers to you if you have your own celebrational drink. And so before I dive in, I do want to make one quick announcement, which isn't a new announcement for those of you that follow my videos, but there's until the end of the year, I'm offering my course, The Psychology of Awakening 2.0, for the price that it's been at for a long time. So basically, this is a 7-module online course which goes in depth into my unique curriculum that brings together teachings on the nature of non-dual reality and non-dual awakening and psychology and quantum physics as well. So it's very much this integrative body of work that has been my life's work, has been what I dove into in my dissertation studies. And it really is a unique body of work in terms of the level of coherent integration of these different systems and really offering the core of the non-dual spiritual awakening understanding and guiding us into the direct experience of that. Maybe we've already had the direct experience, but it helps us to steep in what is non-dual awakening, what is our non-dual nature, and then walks us through what does the process look like of awakening in terms of ourselves psychologically, our identity structure at the core, how this transformation happens psychologically, and what the healing process looks like that we go through over time, each individually, but yet we can look at certain core structures of that process that are true for all of us at a basic level, and bringing in even direct healing and looking at the nervous system, trauma. So it's really weaving all these things together in a very integrated way. I will be closing the course down at the end of the year, so on the 31st will be the last chance to get the course at the current price, which is very affordable. There's a 3-payment plan even. And then I will be launching the course in the spring as a hybrid model where it'll be live classes. It'll be a 7-week thing, probably starting in March or April. And so once the course closes at the end of the year, it won't be available again until the spring, and it will be at a higher price point. So this is a chance if you want to dive in to get all the curriculum at a really good price. And if you want to join the live course in the spring to be a part of the group and go through the course material with the group, there will be an option for people just to sign up for the live group classes in the spring. So if you're interested, you can click the link on the YouTube video, or there'll be a link in my newsletter for you to get more information and sign up if you'd like. Okay, so winter solstice. I'm just going to talk us a little bit into what the winter solstice is, and just some different ways that I think are powerful for us to connect in with it as the powerful portal for transformation, really, that it is, and also a heightened spiritual energetic, I would say, that's available for us in terms of going within. So basically, the winter solstice is the point in the annual cycle that is where we go into this portal of the void, of the nothingness. So we have, of course, many different layers of this. One is the sun itself and the cycles and it's the darkest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. So we have, the external process that's happening with the sun, that is a part of it. But there's also then a parallel internal energetic process that correlates with that. And what that is something that has more sort of esoteric and spiritual energy to it. Now, one of the really cool things that many of you probably already know about, but something that is worth bringing attention to, is that there are many sacred sites around the world, Stonehenge being one of them. There are other sites. I'm not going to rattle off all the right names and places because there's so many. But there are also sites in Mexico, in South America, as well as in Europe itself, all around Northern Europe, that all have the same architecture to them. And that there's been studies done and people who have studied these different sites and seen that the way that these sacred sites were used is very similar. So it points to, the ancient humans of the past that were more in harmony with nature, with the cosmos, and with the architecture of the universe, right? With the seasons and the order of things. And the energetic the energetic dance of the cosmos, really, and the earth and us as humans living in harmony with these energies, they all seem to know the same thing, the same wisdom, the same knowledge, right? It's just one knowledge that was known and practiced by many people because they were all tapped into the natural order, right? And so what these sites all represent and are clearly seem to be used for were sacred rites initiations. And so these are different underground where there'd be like an entryway and you'd go underground, and underground there would be a temple, and then you would come out on the other side, and the exit point would be opening to receive the light of the sun on the morning of the winter solstice. We see this with Stonehenge very clearly, right? That the way it's lined up is so that on the portal on one of the edges, the light of the morning sun on the solstice pierces through this one place and shines on the one rock. And so these sites are all designed in such a way to receive, when the person comes out of the other side of this 3-day initiation, where they go down and they go through a whole process, right? An initiatory process, that then they stay underground for a period of time and they emerge on the winter solstice and with receiving the light of the sun. And the whole site is designed in that way. And so this points to, the wisdom, the cosmic wisdom that I'm talking about here, that there's something about this portal of the winter solstice that is very powerful. It's a powerful, transformative journey, okay, or opportunity in terms of the energetics. And so, we can understand this just basically by looking at the cycle of the year, right? So just walking us through it, I know that people listening, this isn't new information, but just to presence this together as we are here on this solstice day and inviting us to connect with what this portal is offering to each of us. Just presencing what the cycle is, right? So just like everything that exists in creation, we as humans are connected to a natural order, right? It's a cyclical nature of the earth and all these different cycles that we go through. And so the solstice, we basically, like, going back, let's just go back to the previous year, right? So last solstice, and then to now is the full cycle, right? So what happens in the solstice is that we are in like the womb of creation. We're in that reset moment between cycles. So it's like diving into the dark, into the deep, releasing the previous year's cycle, right? Releasing the prior cycle of self, of life, of ourselves, right? It's a shedding of the prior cycle. And so it offers us an opportunity to shed and release and go through our own initiation of sorts. And so from the prior year, let's go back to a year ago, that we started a cycle, right? And we went through the planting of the seeds into that sacred void a year ago, 2023. Those seeds of light, those seeds of creation, let's say, those intentions that were planted for the new cycle, like planted in the sacred void, then gestate through the winter, right? So we plant the seeds and like deep in the winter earth, and the earth, gestates those seeds, gives birth to them in the spring, right? The spring, this whole new life cycle emerges and blossoms and blooms and grows into the fullness of summer, the summer solstice, right? So we have the peak at the summer solstice of the previous cycle, peaking, and then the arc begins to go down, August, into the fall, right? So we have the arc coming down, the fall then is the death, is the releasing, is the harvest, is the completion. So as we've just now been going through this over the last couple of months, we've been in the cycle of the releasing, the completion, the death of the prior cycle, and the sloughing off, the harvest. The harvest and the death are coming at the same time, interestingly, in the fall. It's like the dying of that cycle, and then the harvesting of that, whatever it is that we've harvested from that cycle of ourselves, right? Of our lives, of our growth, of our journey as well. And it's both, it's in terms of the physical and it's in terms of our own process at the same time, right? So then we're going into, in this last month, going into the solstice season where we are now, is this deep dive, right, over these last, weeks. We go deeper and deeper into, the death and the release, the completion, but it's really then becomes this very sacred time leading up to the solstice and then at the solstice, where we are really having the opportunity to really let go. So we're talking now more spiritually, esoterically, for those of us that are doing deeper inner work. it's really an opportunity to release and let go of our identity, right? The ways that we identify ourselves and the things that we're clamped onto and we're working on or whatever. It's really the time for the ego to release and let go into the void, right? Into the great nothingness or the great everythingness of the sacred void of the formless, right? Of the unknown, the mystery. And so this is just what I've been tuning into myself. Every year we go through these cycles and we tap in. We're tapping into ourselves and the process and the energetics. And, you know, it's a challenge, isn't it, for us in the way that the world is with so much distraction and the whole overlay of the, you know, consumerist mentality around the holidays and so forth. And there's so much churned up and there's so much to be distracted by in this modern culture during this time of year. Well, what a surprise. So we are reclaiming this knowledge. We're reclaiming, you know, the natural order as we tap in and choose to align with the energies of the season in whatever way we do, you know, that's authentic for us. And this is really what I'm tapping into and want to share with you all today, that it really is a powerful opportunity to release and let go at a very deep level, to become really naked. You know, it's like the Inanna myth, right? For those of you that know, the Inanna myth is the representation of the going down through the 7 gates of hell and releasing our attachments, releasing our robes, releasing, you know, our identity structures and all these things. This is the great initiation of the goddess going down and then being, you know, completely naked and suffering and raw, and then going through that deep initiation, and then as we come out the other side, regaining our jewels and regaining our, you know, new identities and new ways of being and new forms of life. So this is the initiatory journey, right? This is the plutonic journey this is the journey of transformation that we're constantly going throughout the year. But these different seasons and portals, right, are opportunities that we can align with our what's being offered to us in the specific moment, right, in the specific energy. And so this solstice is an opportunity to really release into the void, into the great nothingness, the great everythingness, right? We have to release our identity, right? This is really the Achilles heel to this whole process, is continuing to allow there to be openness. We can only receive and transform and receive the new when we are willing to let go of the old. And it's easier said than done because of the way that we're structured, and we want to clamp on to the known even when it's what we want to let go of. But unconsciously, we have a really hard time letting go, releasing the old and making way for the new, because it's scary, because it's unknown. It's, well, what am I doing in the void? Where am I? It's disorienting, right? So, just gonna have some cacao. So this is the beauty, though, right? Is that what we find when we let go is that inner light of ourself, right? The inner divine nature, the light of love, the light, the Christed light, right? And so that's the beauty of this moment, of this now, this solstice energy, which is really a portal that's open here for like 3 days. That this is the beauty and the opportunity, is that the energetics are all supporting this going within the heart, going into silence, going into the inner self, creating, just quiet, beauty in the home. We also are going to celebrate, people are also celebrating the whole holiday season and the Christmas that's going to follow this. And this is a whole season of celebration, right? But the celebration is really about the inner light, right? And then we represent that with all the beautiful, fairy lights and external lights. But the external celebration and coming together with people, if we choose to celebrate that way, it's all really about the inner light. I mean, that's what Christ, what we're celebrating, the birth of, for Christianity, we're celebrating the birth of Jesus, whether or not he was born on the 25th of December or not. This is what the celebration is that marries with the solstice portal. It is the inner light. It's the Christed light of love that we are, that is our true nature. That we're celebrating. We're coming together in this darkest time of the year, the sacred void, to celebrate love, to celebrate life, and the birth, the rebirth of life, the renewal of, this sacred flame of who and what we are. And in this portal, it's an opportunity for this sacred alchemy, once again, to really go into the dark and find the light. Be willing to go into the dark of the unknown, of the great nothingness. And what we find is just this pure light of love that we are. And celebrate that and, go within. And so this is the message that I want to share and invite us each into this beautiful opportunity that this time of year is. And I think it's just adding one more layer here, that if we look at this in the context of this wider awakening process, the spiritual awakening, which is a collective process, it's something that's actually happening. It's not just us each in our own individual spiritual awakening processes. It's bigger than that. It's the evolutionary shift in consciousness, which is the earth and all beings are a part of. And so we are a part of something really profound, being alive at this time. And so there's an even bigger alchemy happening of transformation that we're all participating in and being a part of. And so from that standpoint too, it really being willing to go into this inner realm of ourselves, to draw ourselves into our own sacred hearts and to turn within and use this as an opportunity to release everything, to let go. And be in just the beingness, and allow in that just beingness is this opportunity, this fertile ground, right? That is necessary for this new earth, this new life, this new human to be birthed, right? So it's like the more that we can use this portal to let go and release the old and cultivate this inner space in our hearts, this inner light. This is the alchemy of this higher dimensional love, right? This divine flame, which is our true nature, to alchemize, to become brighter. It's like the portal through which the new earth, the new human, the new multidimensional love frequencies, codes of light. I tend to stay away from these words in general, because I know for some people it's like woo-woo type of talk. But these things are real as far as I'm concerned. And so I'm just using words, codes of light, this photonic light. This is all, physics. It's metaphysics, it's physics, it's happening. And so there is something really beautiful about this opportunity that we each have to deepen and holding this, it's like a birth space in this sacred void of the portal of the solstice, to really go within to this sacred flame in the heart and just create space for that is the light that gives rise to the new cycle, right? But we have to be willing just to stay in that deep, quiet, dark of ourselves, of the unknown, right? Letting go, having let go, in order to allow that flame of light to be renewed, to continue to, burn itself into existence, if that makes sense. So that's the message that I want to share with you all. And what I'd like to do is to just walk us through a little meditation, a little guided meditation, just a short, 10 minutes here. And just have you close your eyes, and I'm just going to walk us through a meditation that will guide us through just a little process of what I just talked about for ourselves. Okay. So if you want to just close your eyes. And just beginning by drawing your attention down into your own space. Just allowing all the words that I've already been sharing to land and be an invitation to go deep within yourself now, and to draw your attention down into the heart center. And just beginning to imagine yourself in a sacred forest, an ancient forest. Simply drawing your point of attention down into your heart center. Just connecting with the sacred flame of the heart within you. And beginning to imagine this forest, this ancient sacred forest, in the state of being it's in at this time, being one of transformation, being one of the energy of life in this forest at this solstice portal of 2024. And just imagining the sense of this forest, the aliveness, and the natural state of being in coherence with itself as it is this sacred forest, this ancient land that carries abundance of information, of life lived through the years, through the cycles of time. The forest that carries the wisdom of the cycles. And carries the wisdom of this sacred portal of the solstice. The time of in between light and dark. The portal of creation. And just beginning to imagine yourself now walking through this forest on a path, that this is a place that you have known and know. And that you begin to walk yourself on a path through the forest to a sacred pool, where the people gather for the solstice celebration. And as you're walking on the path, just taking a moment to consciously recognize the letting go of yourself, of the prior cycle of the year. And perhaps even as you're walking, you may imagine sloughing off layers of clothing, or just energetically releasing the old cycle of this year. Letting everything go. And feeling the sense of sacredness that awaits you at this pool that you're walking towards, and this celebration of light that awaits. And as you make your way through the forest, you find your way to this sacred site, this sacred pond or pool of water. And so you find the path that takes you there to this ancient site that you know very well. And as you find your way to this sacred pool, You find that there's candles lit along the path. And arriving at the pool, you find your fellow friends and family and soul alliance friends that are all gathered around this pool. And the pool is filled with a crystalline water that's so beautiful and pure. And that there's light at the bottom of the pool shining up, filling the water with light, crystalline, shimmering light. And one by one, you see each person taking their time coming up to the water and diving in. And so as you contemplate and just stand at the edge of the water, I want to invite you to imagine yourself just releasing and letting go of any clothing that you may still be wearing, any forms of identification that have been familiar to you in this past year of 2024. Familiar points of identification or storylines or aspects of self that have defined you. And just consciously releasing them, setting them aside, allowing them to be composted by the earth, letting them go. And continuing to release all aspects of clothing. And as you stand naked at the edge of the water, just allowing yourself to be naked and open with nothing more but the love in your heart, the love for life, the love frequency that you are remains. And as you look into the water and prepare to dive in, I invite you to release even another membrane around yourself, perhaps, even a deeper layer, just a translucent inner layer, releasing now to the earth. And as you release that membrane, you turn into pure light, a seed of light, a spark, a flame. And just allowing yourself as this flame to drop down into the water like a seed of light. And dropping all the way down into this pure crystalline water, just dropping down deep within the earth. This pool of water goes deep, deep down. And as this pure light, pure potentiality, seed of creation, you land at the bottom in a giant cavern with all the other seeds of light. And this cavern is filled with all the seeds of light, just glowing as pure light. And this is where you remain, planted deep in the earth as a seed of light, a pure seed of creation, planted as light. And with the imprints of the creation to come in the new year and the new season, and so this completes the meditation. And bringing your awareness back into your heart center, just drawing this pure light frequency into your own heart center as you return to your body. And just holding the whole energy of this ancient forest and this underground cavern, drawing it all into your heart, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, beautiful. So coming back and opening your eyes. So I hope that this message has been helpful, and this journey, if you're still here, having gone on this meditation journey, and this is the invitation, is to allow this season to be one of really releasing the old and being in the now, in the celebration of light. And using this time, whether we're celebrating externally with family and friends, community, or whether we're, in a quiet time, which many people are as well this season. And whatever it is that we're doing, that we allow just to be in the heart, to be in the light, and that we allow this season, then going into the new year and the winter, to be one of gestation, of the unknowingness, and of deep rest and restoration. That we've planted our seeds, and then we get to be the earth, we get to be the ground and just rest, hibernate, so powerful into January. And so I leave you with this. Thank you so much. And also, one last announcement is that I will be doing on December 30th the monthly event, Planetary Upshift Meditations for the Capricorn New Moon. and would love to have you join us online. It's free. Or if you're here live in Sedona on the 30th, it'll be a lovely way to come together for the end of the year energies and have some community and some more opportunity to cultivate this inner light and to connect in a mindful way. All right, beautiful blessings to you all, and blessings of the season of light. Bye.